Let's be honest, now we can't rule out the possibility that America might say no to Europe on issues that threaten it. Many leaders have talked about Europe that needs its own military, an army of Europe. And I really believe that time has come. The armed forces of Europe must be created. This is 3 years of full-scale war have proven that we already have the foundation for a united European military force. And now, as we fight this war and lay the groundwork for peace and security, we must build the armed forces of Europe so that Europe's future depends only on Europeans, and decisions about Europe are made in Europe. And without a European army, that is impossible. Once again, this isn't about replacing the alliance. This is about making Europe's contribution to our partnership equal to America's. And with involvement from American businesses. A few days ago, President Trump told me about his conversation with Putin. Not once did he mention that America needs Europe at the table. That says a lot. The old days are over when America supported Europe just because it always had. And this is not just madness. Only our army in Europe has real modern battlefield experience. But our army alone is not enough too. And we need what you can provide: weapons, training, sanctions, financing, political pressure, and unity. We have clear intel that this summer Russia plans to send troops to Belarus under the pretext of training exercises. But that's exactly how they staged forces before their full-scale invasion to Ukraine 3 years ago. Make no mistake, North Koreans are not weak. They are learning how to fight now, how to fight the modern war. And what about your armies? Are they ready? And if Russia launches a false flag operation or just straight up with no insignia from Belarus, like how Crimea got taken in 2014, how fast will the allies respond? And will they respond at all? Everything needed to protect lives in modern war should be produced in Europe fully. Europe has everything it takes. Europe just needs to come together and start acting in a way that no one can say no to Europe.
Something like this. Very big package during this war. Very great. Very great.
It's not in our interests today. Not in interests of sovereign Ukraine.
First, can you elaborate on
Вона не захищає, вона ще не готова, щоб захистити нас, наші інтереси. Для мене дуже важливо говорити про інвестиції в Україну, саме інвестиції, і це повинно бути виписано юридично правильно, коректно, і це інвестиції, і на них, на профіті від них можна думати, як розподіляти цей профіт, якщо все це пов'язане з гарантіями безпеки, розумієте? І цього зв'язку я поки що в документі не бачу.
To get the Taurus missiles when Friedrich Merz becomes chancellor in Germany.
Oh, you know, so we will not repeat any, previous big mistakes of the world, of the divided Europe, and of signing any not honest documents, like it was there, like it was a dividing of Europe, and then that what started the biggest tragedy of 20th century. So I think that we are maybe not clever, but we are cautious.
Your big support, we are very thankful, doesn't depend on
Про це і сказав Трампу під час нашої розмови. Я дуже чекаю Келлога. Я дуже хочу вас, щоб ви його все ж таки відправили. І я хочу, щоб він все це подивився, побачив, мав брифінги, мав доповіді, поговорив з різними людьми, з різними нашими військовими. Витратив на це і дуже гарно, що у нього є там 3 дні, мені здається, чи 2,5 дні. Так, я дуже цього хочу, щоб він все це привіз президенту Трампу. Він показав, він розказав. І мені здається, що після цього, напевно, ми будемо ближче до розуміння того, як ми бачимо це.
Of course, we are very thankful to the United States for Patriots, but we've got 3 systems from Germany.
Maybe there is something at the table, but not on our table. So I didn't see any invitations, envoys, and etc. from Ukraine to meet with some other envoys. But anyway, envoy, this is that national. I mean, it's security advisor, and so we don't have any papers, any invitations, and it's something strange for me to speak in this case, in this format. If before we don't have any negotiation between us and our strategic partners. As I remember, Russia is not our strategic partner.
Not everything. That's why I want to ask you.
Hi.
Mr. President,
Це рішення. Я не можу сказати за ці країни, і я не буду їх називати, тому що все ж таки це внутрішнє спілкування лідера зі своїм суспільством, це рішення внутрішнє тієї чи іншої країни, але є позитивне розуміння деяких країн. Так, є розуміння і є готовність, якщо ви про це, допомагати Україні. І якщо Україна побачить, що контингент є дійсно одним із форматів або однією з складових гарантій безпеки, вони будуть готові відправити до нас свої війська, свої контингенти.
Some countries who are not on such high places of support, but they are very loud.
But I think this is very important. If it's security guarantees and troops, it have to be from this unity, from United States and European partners, of course, who wants. But within the United States, I think it's weak, and it's not enough.
For everything. But Germany really is not loud. And
President Putin wants peace, and President Zelensky wants peace, and I want peace. I just want to see people stop getting killed. I think when the war ends, one thing he was very strong about, he wants, if it ends, he wants it to end. And that's President Putin said that. He wants it to end. He doesn't want to end it and then go back to fighting 6 months later. We talked about the possibility, I mentioned it, of a ceasefire so we can stop the killing. And I think we'll probably end up at some point getting a ceasefire in the not too distant future. We'll get something done. We're going to be meeting actually tomorrow. They're meeting in Munich, as you know, and we're going to have some other meetings. And I'll be dealing with President Putin largely on the phone, and we ultimately expect to meet. In fact, we expect that he'll come here and I'll go there, and we're going to meet also probably in Saudi Arabia. The first time we'll meet in Saudi Arabia, see if we can get something done. But we want to end that war. That war is a disaster. It's a really bloody, horrible war.